Okay, I'm just gonna make sure everything is good. There we go. Okay, I'll wait just a moment to see if anyone can join us. Today is day 2 of the Spring into Simple Decluttering Challenge, so yay, we're here for the next day. I loved seeing all the work you guys have done so far in the group. I love it. It's so good. You're doing awesome. So keep posting your pictures and just have fun with it. It's fun to share, fun to do this together. So good job, everybody. I'm proud of you, and it's so fun. So thank you. First, before we get started today, I just wanted to remind you, if you're having any troubles finding the emails, you'll get an email each morning with the task for today. And if you're having any trouble finding that email, the first thing to do is search your inbox. I always include the phrase spring into simple in the subject line. So you can search your inbox for that. Sometimes it ends up in spam or junk or that kind of thing. So search first. If you still can't find it, morning, Cheryl. If you still can't find it, then just reach out to me. You can send me an email or post a message on here or whatever. Just get a hold of me and I will make sure they get to you. They're also set to go out by time zone so that everyone can get it first thing in the morning wherever they are. So they actually start sending, like tomorrow's email will start sending at 10 a.m. my time today. So on the 2nd, it starts sending at 10 a.m. to get all the time zones. So if you join a little bit later, or if you join into the challenge, in the middle of it, which is fine, totally fine. But sometimes you will miss that day's challenge email just because it's already started sending. So anyways, all that to say, if you don't get the emails, or if you can't find the emails, or if you joined late, just reach out to me. You can email me at Melissa, Melissa, at simplelionheartlife.com, or post a message in the group, or send me a message in the group, and I will make sure that they get to you. And good morning, Karen. Thank you for joining us. I love that we get to do some of these together, so thank you. So today, day 2, we are doing surface clutter. And this is another fun way to kind of ease into decluttering because it can give you a win right off the bat. It can show you, a clutter-free surface right away. You can see the results of your work. So we're going to do that. It also, another good thing about easing in this way is it really helps build up our momentum, gets us kind of in the mindset of decluttering, also builds your confidence, shows you that you can do this. Decluttering doesn't have to be hard and scary. These little projects, little tasks add up, and it builds our motivation. It feels good to let go. It feels good to do this work, and the more you do it, the more motivated you feel to keep going. So that's kind of the goal with these. Yesterday's task was the whole house clutter sweep, and today's is surface clutter. So that's the goal, is to ease us in, get us going, build up our momentum. So we all know that flat surfaces can be clutter magnets. Stuff just seems to gravitate to those flat surfaces in our house. And this does a few things. It can make a space look visually cluttered. It can make it feel messy. It can make it feel kind of chaotic. It can just change the look of a space and how it feels. And it can also change how the space functions. If you think about when your kitchen counters are cluttered and there's stuff everywhere, it's hard to cook, it's hard to clean up, it's hard to enjoy your time in there. So it really impacts the function of a space as well. So today we're going to start with one surface. Pick one surface that you notice feels cluttered or always tends to get cluttered for you, or just feels kind of stressful or overwhelming. And that today we're going to tackle that surface. So depending on your situation, it could be a small surface if you have a lot of stuff to deal with, or it could be a bigger surface. It could be your entire kitchen counter or your entire desk, or it could just be, one section of your kitchen counter. So do what feels right for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just pick any surface that feels a little cluttered and messy and chaotic, and today we will tackle that. Some suggestions if you're not sure where to start. The kitchen counters are always good. Kitchen table or dining table or another place. A coffee table, excuse me, or end tables in your living room. Your desk. Your nightstand is another one that can collect clutter and really feels good to get it clutter free. Your bathroom counters, even the top of your fridge. If you keep stuff on top of your fridge, that can be a clutter magnet. So those are some ideas. So just pick the spot in your home that feels a little messy, a little cluttered, and today we're going to tackle it. And so here's what I like to do when I'm dealing with surface clutter. I like to start by taking everything off the surface, clearing it off completely, and then I sort what's there. So I get rid of anything we don't need. If it's garbage or something to donate, I get rid of that stuff. I get rid of the stuff that we no longer need, that either we're going to donate or garbage. The next thing I do is put stuff away. If there's stuff piling up in those spots that doesn't belong there, put it away where it belongs. And then the third step is to assess what's left. Assess what you usually keep out on that space. And just remember that the more stuff you have out there, the more stuff tends to gravitate towards it. So it's almost like it gives you permission to leave more stuff. If you have, if you keep more items on that space, it almost gives you permission to collect more items in that space. So really reassess what you're going to keep on the surface and think, like, do you really need it on the surface? Could you put it somewhere else? Could you put it, tucked away in a drawer or a cupboard or somewhere else? And just think, can you simplify it? Could you just keep less in general on that space? And just spend a few minutes thinking about that. And another great thing to do when you're decluttering, when you've pulled everything off and you're sorting through it, look through that kind of stuff and think, like, what tends to build up in this place, on this surface? What tends to cause the clutter? And think if there's anything you can do to prevent that clutter from piling up again. Maybe you need a new system or just, a different way of organizing to keep the clutter from piling up. So one example, people often talk about like paperwork and mail piling up on kitchen counters, which is so common. It happens to everyone. So if you notice this is a big problem in your house, maybe you could think, well, maybe you need a basket to keep all of the paper clutter together in one space. Maybe you need a hanging file or something on the wall, or maybe you need like a stand-up file folder in the corner of your kitchen. Just think, like, what could you do to kind of prevent that clutter from getting out of control again? Another example is in your entryway. If you have a table in your entryway and it's always covered in like bags and purses and hats and gloves and keys and wallets and phones, maybe you could put a hook on the wall for your keys. Maybe you could put a little basket for, if your husband comes home and like empties his pockets like many do, maybe you could give him a little basket for all of, his change and his keys and his wallet and all those things that tend to pile up. Maybe you need a basket for, hats and gloves. If you're in a place like me where it's winter gear is just part of life for several months out of the year, many months of the year. So we need baskets. We have somewhere to put that stuff so it doesn't clutter up the whole entryway. So just really thinking, like, how can you prevent the clutter from reaccumulating? And then on that note, so once you have decluttered the surface you're working on, the next step is I really want to challenge you throughout the challenge to try keeping the clutter under control on that spot. Just get in the habit of clearing it off, once a day to keep it clean. And what this does is it really builds a habit for you and helps you just learn to keep that surface clutter free. And the more that becomes the habit, the more that will just be normal and just part of your everyday routine. Oh, I got some weird thing. So that's another thing is after you've done this work to clear off the clutter, then try to make a habit of keeping it clear and just see how that goes. Oh, and hi from Germany. I don't know how to say Janecki? I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, but thank you, and hi from Germany. That's so cool. We had someone from Switzerland yesterday and Croatia and Germany. This is so cool. I love that we can connect together this way. So hello, and I'm sorry if I said your name horribly. I'm very sorry. Names are not my forte. So that's today's decluttering task. So I'm excited to see the surface clutter. Keep sharing in the Facebook group. Keep showing us what you're working on, showing us those beautifully clutter-free surfaces when you're done. And just remember to have fun with it. Don't stress out, even if it's just a little section of a flat surface that you work on, that's good. That's progress. Progress, not perfection. and do what you can in the time you have. And on that note, if maybe your surfaces aren't so cluttered, maybe you can tackle not just one surface, but another surface and another surface. Like, do whatever you can. Do as much as you can in the time you have, whatever that looks like. Oh, and Christine says bedside table this morning she decluttered. That's awesome. I love having clutter-free bedside tables because that's the last thing you see when you go to sleep and the first thing you see when you wake up. And not being, met with clutter first thing and last thing is so nice. It seems small, but it really has a positive impact on the way you feel when you start and end your day. So good for you. That's awesome. Yeah, so that's it for today. I'm actually going to be out of town for a little bit today. So if you need help finding the emails or if you have any questions, still reach out to me. I'll have my phone and be able to get back to you. But if there's a little bit of delay, that's why. I'm just going to be out of town for a little bit today. So I will for sure get back to you at some point today, though, if there is anything I can help you with or anything you need. So keep sharing in the Facebook group. You can also share on Instagram if you want. You never know who you'll inspire. And I will be back again tomorrow for another video to talk about tomorrow's task. It'll be at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time again. So same time as this one. And I can't wait to see what you've done. Can't wait to see what you do today. And have fun. We will see you all tomorrow. Oh, and she says, no worries, even Germans get it wrong. Tackling the tasks in the evening. Oh, that's great. I'm so happy you're here too. Thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing what you're working on as well. So that's really great. So have fun, everyone. I will see you back here tomorrow and I can't wait to see your clutter-free surfaces. So bye, guys.